Hey there, Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Moon, Sagittarius Rising. Welcome to your new moon in Taurus reading. This new moon is a very potent new moon, and it has a longevity to it that is very unusual. Most new moons will take about a year and a half to become a full moon, maybe 2.5 years. This one's going to take 6.5 years. It takes us into the next decade. November 21st of 2029 is when it becomes a full moon, and it takes us into that age of Aquarius energy. And so this is important that we take the time during this Kasimi new moon on Friday the 19th of May at 11:53 a.m. Eastern Time Zone here in the U.S. Take the time to sit down and write down what it is you want. You have Mercury here, the communicator. It says words have power. Words have power. And so while I have been giving everybody this message, I give it to you in particular, and this is why. Because when we have that full moon happen on November 21st of 2029, we have the North Node in your sign at the galactic center. How about that for something? Talk about having the unlimited potential. Words are wands. They are the magic that makes things happen. And so the more that you use this energy of Mercury, the more that you really work with the cycles of Mercury over the next 6 years, really paying attention to how they work in your life, the more that you work with this energy and use it through powerful and positive affirmations, the more magic you're going to create in your own life, so that when you get to that part where you have this happening, where things are just opening up for you, unlimited potential. And so it's going to come down to you really trusting and believing in the power of your words and how you can manifest and create for yourself whatever it is you want. Wow, you guys have so much happening here. All right, so your overall energy is the Ten of Swords, which means it's the end of the cycle and the beginning of a new one. And this cycle is very transformative. And so whatever it is, there's some aspect of your life that is reaching a conclusion and something new is being birthed out of it. But it's powerful. It's a powerful one. Because look at this Ten of Swords. The beast of burden has crossed over, and you're becoming this lion. You're about to shine and roar out onto a whole new, it feels like out onto the stage of life. It's how you decide to communicate with yourself. So whatever the situation that is coming to a conclusion, if you can look at it as the end of a burdensome cycle, right? You had the South Node go through your sign. And then the South Node has been through Scorpio, and it's almost done there. And so that was the integration period. And now it's time to start sowing the seeds of the next cycle to rise from the ashes like the phoenix. Because here in the subconscious, we have the card of transformation. And I want to get really close so you can really see that card. And I want to kind of describe what's going on with that card. So here, this is a multi-armed individual, and I don't know which spirit guide it is, sitting there on this blue lotus. And in his background is the phoenix rising from the ashes. In one hand, holding the yin-yang, the emotionally balanced, how we act and how we feel inside, the yin and the yang, the divine masculine, divine feminine energies there in one hand, and another hand holding the lotus. The lotus is, no kidding, you actually have a lotus here showing up here. It's the flowering. It is the opening up. It is the allowing in the new things that are coming in. That is the Queen of Pentacles. That is that nurturing energy. So that is there. There is the sword of truth in one hand, and there is the snake of transformation in another. And in the last hand there, holding a chain, but the chain is broken. Unchaining yourself, unshackling yourself, and setting yourself free to go out on this new journey of self-discovery, this new journey where you are no longer the beast of burden, but you are the lion. You are the lion that roars, you are the lion that shines. But this happens through your ability to communicate with yourself and with your higher spirit guide team, and using the positive affirmations and understanding that when you say you can or you can't, you're always right. You're always right. So you can do anything you want. This new moon is going to conclude with the North Node in your sign at the galactic center. It opens into unlimited possibilities. And you've got to understand that. And as you work over the next 6 years, developing your self-confidence and developing the right verbiage to use and focusing on the big dreams and the big goals and which directions you want to move in, as you really focus in on that energy, then you start drawing and attracting like the sun. The attractive energy of success comes to you. So let's get into why these cards are so much screaming that at me. It's like so much coming through. Okay, so here we go. Right now you're at this Three of Wands. You've been experiencing things. You've been experiencing things. There's wisdom and knowledge that's been coming through. You have been learning, you've been growing, and you will continue to do so, right? You will continue to do so. It's a fire sign energy. It's this energy of growth and knowledge and wisdom and figuring out what you want and growing some more and growing some more. There's a very much of an Empress energy, right? You have 2 3s. So this is where you sit here, and then we have this other 3 in your energy of who you are right now. We've got this 3 of Pentacles. The 3 of Pentacles in this card has this angelic energy all around it. No unemployed, no unemployed spirit guides and angels, please. You ask for what you need. If you ask for the guidance, if you ask for what you need, you will receive the information. You will receive the information through your subconscious. There is a knowingness that comes in. There is a need to have total trust in order to create this transformation, because in your conscious mind, we have the 5 of Wands. It's a trapeze. And in order to create the change, in order to move forward, you have to let something go, which is why the South Node was ripping through your sign and allowing you to integrate for the last 1.5 years. And now it is time to let go of the past, to let this thing end, whatever this is, and move on to the new cycle. And what it is may not even be like a bad thing. It could be like you're graduating from college or something, and it's what you're used to, and it's been really hard, and you've really been pushing at the end, and then you have to get all your paperwork submitted and do all those exams and everything, and now it's time to go out and start job hunting. It's time to rise and shine. It's time to rise and shine, Sagittarius. So how did you get here? Well, we've got the card of the Lovers, the choice. There's this real heart-to-heart and mind-to-mind and communication energy here. A lot of choices and decisions, head and heart involved, maybe with a significant other, or maybe between you and your higher self. Maybe parent to child, child to parent, it doesn't matter. Maybe it's boss to employee, but there's been a meeting of the minds and a meeting of the hearts. There's been a need to get on the same page with somebody, either with yourself or with somebody around you. But this getting on the same page where you are aligning, and in this year of the Chariot, this aligning of the conscious with the subconscious, the goals with the actions. That's how you get here, right? That's how you get here. And now you're here. And now it is time to let go of a situation, allow a situation to complete, like completely release, so that you can bring this big transformation in. And the challenge for you is being open and receptive and allowing yourself to be nurtured and to nurture yourself. Because the Queen of Pentacles in the area of what is the challenge, it doesn't mean you can't do it. It doesn't mean that somebody's not doing it. It means that this is the next step, the next thing you need to master. This is where you need to be mastering, is this balancing act of nurturing, of caring for others, and allowing yourself to also be cared for. Being open to receiving while giving. That is the ultimate in the balance. Like that is like taking that 6 of Pentacles energy and really amping it up. The opportunity here, you have the card of the 6 of Wands, success. Look at that celebration. He's riding in on a tiger. That tiger to me represents you've earned your stripes. So over the course of the next 6 years, you are going to earn your stripes. That means you're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to show up for yourself. You're going to have to remember how to communicate with yourself effectively and with others. You're going to have to use your words as magic wands to manifest and create the thing that is that you want and desire the most. But you can. You absolutely can do it. But you have to remember how important the way you speak about yourself, to yourself, and to others matters. It matters so much. In your environment, there is a new opportunity just waiting for you to take it. We have the Fool. We have the leap of faith. right? You know it, you see it coming, you know you got to release something and you got to let yourself go and take this new opportunity, this new beginning. You're heading out on a new hero's journey. You're heading out on a new hero's journey. And it's waiting for you right there, and the opportunity to successfully navigate it, right? With all its challenges, its ups, its downs, its good times, its bad times, right? That nothing is... You can't enjoy the sweetness of victory if you haven't enjoyed the difficulties along the way. It just doesn't have the same flavor of sweetness, right? And so that is why you want to be asking for guidance, looking for the signs. And you know, the thing about it, words are magic, right? So for instance, be specific. Don't say I need a sign. Be specific if you're like, I really should I do this or do that? I had a question that came up. I was listening to another reader and she said something about a penny, and I'm like, that's interesting, because usually I focus on dimes because that's our family tradition. So I thought it would be interesting to use a penny this time. And so I had a specific question about something, and I said, all right, so if I should pursue this path, then I want to see a penny with, and I picked 3 dates because they were significant to the situation. I picked these 3 dates. The next day, while I was working somewhere in the back of a closet that I was cleaning out, there was a penny. It was one of those dates. In the next closet, there were 2 pennies. One of those dates, then another date that didn't. I looked at it like, well, that's odd. And then I heard it's significant. And so I sat there with it for a minute. I'm like, oh my God, that is a significant date. So it was a strong yes. Let's put it that way, a very strong yes. So look for the signs and the signals. I was considering something about someone who is crossed over and trying to figure out something that I need to do. And the other day, and I found a penny while I was in the middle of working it out, talking about it, thinking about it in my head, because when I work, nobody's there, and that's nice because I could chatter like crazy. And there was a penny with the year on that this person had crossed over. So I knew that they were also there in the conversation, and that what I was thinking and the way I was working through it, I wasn't really doing this on my own. I was having help. And so look for the signs and the signals. Pay attention to the details. You know, you can ask for this. I wanted to know if the red hawk was actually my spirit guide, if the hawk was my spirit guide, is it or not? And so I'm walking down the road and I'm thinking about it. I'm on my way to CVS and I'm on the sidewalk and I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, you know what? If the hawk is really my spirit guide animal, I want to see a hawk feather. I want to see a hawk feather. So I go to CVS, I come out, and when I was walking home, at that place in the sidewalk where I had said that, laying in the middle of the sidewalk, hawk feather. I said, okay, thank you. So you can ask for these very specific signs and symbols so that you're not confused. Get an oracle deck. You don't have to try to interpret it. The words are written out. And get into the book and really read it and what resonates. Not every part of it will, but a lot of times it's amazing. In fact, we're going to use a deck here that when I got a new head spirit guide, I sat and went on Amazon and we selected a deck to work with, and the messages are always so on point. And today I'm using them for you guys, but I don't do that very often. Because what are you supposed to do? You have the star card. But look, it has the moon up here in the 3rd eye. You need to connect in with your spirit guide team. Have a vision, have hope for the future. Do the work, show up for yourself, and ask for the signs and the symbols. Communicate with your spirit guide team. Communication, words are power. They are magic. Ask for what you want. Be specific. Be specific. And if you're doing an affirmation, you don't use negative words. You start with I am. That's the key that unlocks the magic. And then you don't say going to have or will be. No, I am, as in this present moment. I am successful in this, whatever you're doing. I am successful. And then as soon as you say the words, feel into your heart what that success feels like. Feel the success of it, because that really seals it into your heart. And now you have the head heart. Here we have the hope up here in the star, right? And it is reflected into, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a face there, okay? And this would be reflected into the heart, the head heart connection, the head heart connection. Seal it in by feeling it. Really feel what it would feel like to be that successful. If you do that every day, it just takes a few minutes. So sit down on this new moon and carefully write out your affirmation. Keep it kind of broad, as in allowing spirit to bring in something that is that or greater. It's not about the steps. They'll show you the path. It is about the vision of the end game, the end goal, that part where you feel successful. And feel that feeling. Your outcome cards are really interesting. You have the Knight of Swords, doubling down on the fact that words matter. Okay, so this is Mercury the communicator. Mercury the communicator. So there's Mercury the merchant and there's Mercury the communicator. Mercury the communicator is Gemini energy. It opposes your energy. But we have the Gemini card here and the Knight of Swords, which to me is very much a Gemini kind of energy, right? And so the words matter. He looks angry like he's fighting, and it does say fighting on it. Words matter. They have power. If you take off what it says, though, and you say words have power, that looks like a very powerful fighting for what you want and what you need energy. But I don't think you need to do it that hard. We have the miser, and he's in reverse, and usually I don't read reversals, but I kind of feel like I need to. This one, you know, in Rider-Waite, he has the pentacle on his head and the pentacle on his heart. That is like this. That is that mind and heart, and that's how you manifest. Because, right, as above, seal it in his heart, so below, he's standing on two pentacles. I don't get, see, I get stability out of that. Everybody's like, oh, the miser, and I never feel that way. But when it comes out here and it says the miser, and this deck is very specific about things, I do feel like there is a potential that you feel like you have to fight for your resources. And there's an easier way. Because here we have the Sun card, and it's called Innocence. And look how relaxed he is. And he's listening to his spirit guide. It's like Jiminy Cricket, right? Talking to Pinocchio. I think that this is going to require you to really stay in an awareness, right? This flowering is the challenge. And I think the challenge is that you may feel like over the next 6 years, like you're in a battle to secure your resources. But if you remember to open up like the sun and let things flower and blossom and grow using your words as magic wands, you're going to get there. So they're showing me this fable. I think it's an Aesop's fable. The wind and the sun are having a conversation about who's stronger, right? The wind and the sun. Which one's stronger? Okay. And so they decide to challenge. They decide, we will have this challenge and we'll see who wins. And so the wind says, see that guy walking down there with his coat on? I can take that coat off of him. And the sun goes, okay, we'll see who can get it off first. You may go first. And so the wind, it blows and it blows and it blows. And what does the guy do? He grabs on tighter and wraps himself up into his coat and hangs on for dear life. The miser. When he gets done, the sun goes, is it my turn? He's like, sure. See if you can get it off. The sun opens up and it shines its warmth. It shines its warmth, turns up the heat by just shining out there. And the guy's like, wow, this is crazy weather. as he takes off his coat. It's up to you which attitude you pick here. There's a choice to be made for lovers. Do you choose to shine? And this one's called innocence. This is finding the joy in the moment. This is using your words as magic. This is choosing to see the positive in things and express it in a positive way. This is in the I don't have, this is so hard. And I honestly think when I look at this, and this is unusual, I only have one sign left to go, and I've not seen this. I feel like with these 3s and these 6 here, it feels very much like nothing is settled. Nothing ever is. It always is up to us. But this feels even more like you're on the edge here of picking a side. Picking a side, and you pick the side with your words. You pick the side with your words in your attitude. And so do you choose to shine like the sun, or do you choose to feel like everything is a competition and you got to really hang on tight to what you have? This is going to matter in the outcome. And this is a 6-year cycle. And so it takes you to the next decade. And so the way you communicate to yourself with positive, affirming words, the way you talk to your children, the way you speak to your spouse, to your boss, to the people that work for you, your coworkers, the way you communicate out there in the world is either attractive or it's repellent. It either easily opens up and flowers open for you, or it doesn't. Potential is great success. That is the potential, but it's only potential, and your actions matter. And so it's interesting here, this card of the star actually says silence. And I just heard silence is golden. There are going to be times when not saying anything is just as important as saying the right thing. That is really interesting. Very specific. All right, let's see what the last words are here. I am on Facebook. I did spend 22 minutes on a video talking about all the aspects of this moon. You actually get 2 cards. Oh, you have the seed and the poppy. I love it. All right, so this is that seed of intention that you're planting in this poppy here. This is, you know, if you are a Wizard of Oz fan, you know that Glinda the Good Witch used poppies to, well, actually used snow to wake them up when the bad witch used poppies to make them go to sleep. All right, so the bad witch, Wicked Witch of the West. All right, so the seed. This is the beginning. The first act that will set all of your plans into motion, right? We have the Fool. We have the new moon. We have the Fool, right? The transformation that is at play here, right? This is the beginning. The seed may seem small, but is full of potential and contains everything it needs to grow into something incredible. Take time to nurture it and to give it the right conditions to flourish. You may already have several seeds growing. Do not be afraid to let this one remain dormant a little longer. It will come to fruition when the time is right and the conditions are right for it. So, what is it? The challenge is to nurture the idea, the dream, the goal yourself, right? The nurturing energy, and the potential is great success. That is exactly what that card just said. And so then we have here, so this is the seed and the sickle. I can't recommend enough. This actually comes with two books. One of them is about stuff that's at the beginning stages, and the one is about things that are concluding. All right, so poppy. The devil is in the details. An old protection against pursuit by monsters involves scattering poppy seeds on your path, making them all go to sleep. Spirits are compelled to stop and count these small items that they come across, so the difficult task will slow them down long enough for you to escape. Try not to get too entangled in the details, or you'll find yourself coming to a complete stop. It is time to let a few of the less important factors slide for the sake of moving forward. Sometimes it will be necessary to say nothing. To say nothing. It might really be the key to success. Be the sun and shine out there. Your words, they're magic wands. What do you want to manifest? All right, guys, you take care. Talk to you soon.